Hello guys and welcome to this week's video on the Odyssey. So I was scouring online and what I found was, like anything for the Odyssey, search online for a wiper delete bung, wiper delete advice kit, etc. And the search results are drier than the Sahara Desert, and if you do get any research results, they're always for the American Odyssey, which isn't really very transferable to the import. So here in my hand I have a lovely universal 36mm bung. Now, unlike a lot of these where you press them in the back of the window and they sort of glue on or they stick on, this one's quite funky actually, so it's very universally usable for most vehicles, and I'm hoping that it's going to fit in the Odyssey because I don't know exactly what size the bung hole is. So there were a few online for the Civic and the Accord, but again we're not sure what window size or what the bung size is for different windows, so I went with this one. I'm hoping it will fit. If it doesn't fit, then this video is a total waste of time, but hopefully this video will be complete and you'll get to watch it all and see what to do. So this bung set was just under £5. Seems quite expensive, but as we can see here, it is a decent quality piece of kit. As you can see, I've just painted the end of it. It comes in that sort of horrible sort of matte plastic, so I have painted the end of it so it will look nice on the window. And the idea of it is, obviously this with the seal will slot in against the window and they'll tighten it through the window with this, if all works out, hopefully. So again, I have no clue what I'm taking apart. Very soft suspension on this car. I don't know what I'm actually taking apart yet on the Odyssey, so you guys are going to have a pretty exciting experience today of learning how to get rid of your wiper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get cracking on and I'm going to record it as I go so it looks more professional, as if I know what the hell I'm doing, because I clearly don't. So this is going to be my rear wiper delete / bung install on an Odyssey RB1. So guys, we have a nice and simple start here. I've removed this one just so I know how to remove it. Don't go in there and pry away with a screwdriver like I've done, because I've managed to snap mine slightly on the lip. So what you do is you want to tap the end in through here, like so. Little tap. Then all you need to do then is gently pry it out. I say gently, I'll probably snap this one as well. There we go. Yeah, and all you've got to do to reinstall is to push this back through. Ready for reinstall. So inside here there's a little flap. You want to pull that back and that will reveal a Phillips screwdriver head, hopefully. If you haven't got one, then I don't know, which then what I imagine would let me pull this out of here. So that indeed then just pops out like so. There we are. There we are. So like most pull down units, we're going to apply a bit of force, not too much, but around the outer rim of the boot lid liner to pull it away from the metal panel. So we're going to be pulling downwards. So this is now hanging. See it wobbling about above you. Now this next has got to come out. So what you're going to do is you just pull your fingers on here like this, grab it with your thumbs, and you just pull away like that. And that will help to release this pillar here. Do that on both sides. So when you pull away these plastic trims, just bear in mind to obviously put the, well, for all of the trim, when you put it back together, put all the locator tabs back on. But bear in mind when this drops out of here, this is now obviously supported by the top of my camera, so this will drop on your head. Just be careful. So here we are. Now, in all fairness, realistically, you only need to remove these two side bits. The centre piece of trim that you can see there, I've just found can definitely stay in position. Now, as you can see, I have left all of my poppers in. Some are damaged, RIP to them. So we're going to remove all of these poppers when I get a chance to, and reapply these back to the back of the plastic cover. So I would say definitely order some of these, have some of these on hand. I haven't, but there should be enough to pop this back on without a problem, hopefully, and that should all be cool. So as we can see now, we can see all the motor and the periphery. So I would imagine that we're going to be disconnecting this unit first. I'll get the camera in a better position and I'll run you through taking apart the wiper as it is here. What we've also got to do as well is bear in mind we need to take off the wiper from the outside of the car as well. So for now, we're going to focus on removing the rear of the motor. So we have 3 10mm. We're going to loosen these off here right now. Now the rest of the unit I would imagine is held in place by the nut, obviously pulling the wiper through, because there's nothing here that seems to mount it through into the window. So I'm going to very gently remove the 3 10mm. So that is then removed. Now don't worry about the weight of that pulling and stressing on the window. It is still very well held in position by the strength going through the centre of the wiper. So now I'm envisioning I'm going to bring the boot down and take off the wiper, but I should be able to pull it through or push it through from the front and it will fall out through behind, I'm assuming. We'll hope it goes that way. Also, this plug is just a fiddly pain in the flipping ass. I can't seem to get it off where it's at, so I'm going to leave that to when I get it out. I've got the space to pull this back and remove it like so. So we're going to get the boot lid down gently and we're going to finish off this removal. Here's a top tip of how to tidy up your car if you do have a wiper that you want to keep or you don't want to do a delete on. What I've done with this one is when I got it, it was very matte grey, very grey and very weathered. What I've indeed done is take this off beforehand and paint the arm. It looks 10 times better. We're going to pull this back here, which reveals, as far as I can remember, it's an 8mm nut on here. Although I'm trying to remove it now and it's not coming off, which is ideal. So we'll do it this way. Pull the 2 wings back, like so. And yeah, that, if I can remember rightly, is an 8mm. So we'll remove that now. So it turns out it wasn't 8mm. I don't even know why I've got this, but we're here and now, so we'll just get it done. But just apply a force, or just a gentle force to the arm to stop it from moving when you try and twist it loose. There we are. Bend the arm out, pull it back and forth a bit. There we are, off. This plastic cover I also did spray back when I sprayed this last, and that does, without pulling the whole boot lid, come off as well. Whistle fiddly. And there we go, that leaves what is left. So I'm assuming this centre nut, so we've got to remove next to better pull the unit through. So it is indeed a 23, which poses a small issue because you need a deeper socket than a regular size. I don't think I'm going to be able to take that off with that. I probably might have to use a spanner, we will see. So indeed it did work. I just did gently loosen it off. I felt quite a big bump. I can see the motor's now dropped down, so we're going to loosen this off by hand while I've got the boot open, so we have a safe drop out of the motor without causing any damage to the window or anything else. So just to mention, when you have loosened this off, you can still hold on to it quite easily, and this ring removes itself from the centre here. So make sure when you're taking it off that you do it very gently. So what a nightmare. There it is out. Now what I did, if you see in here very closely, is I stuck the end of my broken screwdriver into this little bit here and pulled that out in order to get the clip out. So it's quite a difficult clip to get out on the car, so it's best leaving that till the end, like so. So there is the end of the unit. So I'm going to get the boot down and see what installation is like for the new one. So there it is, all in and installed. Now this just fit. The hole was much bigger than the 36mm on this, and this just fits. Now there is a concern the seal doesn't actually sit. The seal is basically the same size as the inside of the hole, so there is a slight concern we may well have a small leak come through here, although my rear screen is getting wrapped next week, which will actually cover over this anyway, so the chance and risk of leaking issues are going to be very little to non-existent. But just be aware, if that is going to be going on your window as it is, with nothing over the top of it, you may well want to put a small bead of sealer in between the sealing face or on the underside of the top that's obviously sticking around the inside of the windscreen. But it's on there so tight that it would probably be a struggle for water to get in there, or at least a large amount of water anyway. But we'll flip the boot down and we will show you the outside. There we are. There it is on the back of the Honda. not very bulbous, not very in your face. Now, I appreciate if you have one that fits inside the window, that it would come up quite level and you wouldn't have such a bulge. But in my opinion, obviously once I've cleaned up around this, which I probably should have done actually before I put it on, in all fairness, but once this is all cleaned up, it's going to look nice. And, you know, subtle with no rear wiper on there. So that is the install. I'll put a link below for this item. It is actually very good, and as it goes, it does fit. Now, as you can see, is there water that's going to leak inside there? I mean, if it does, it's going to be minimal. But like I said, I recommend just put a bead of filler inside this lip, or on the underside of the rotating lip, before you can press it together. Mine's been wrapped anyway, and this will be wrapped over as part of the wrap design on the back anyway, so water getting in there isn't going to happen. So I would recommend, if you're going to use this, to look at probably getting the size up, although I don't know what size that is, but I can still recommend that this 36mm bung does work. The link for this bung is going to be in the description of this video, and what I'll probably do sometime while making this video is I'll try and put up something on the screen now, maybe the size up or the place where you can buy different sizes from. But this is a 36. It does indeed fit, but literally just to the rim of the glass hole. So you'd probably want to go up to the next size, which will probably be around a 40 something. I don't really know. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys are happy with a very decent, very simple install. All I'm going to do now is remove all the clips, put them back on the plastic trim, and do the reverse of what I did to remove it. So any questions, guys, please feel free to give me a message on my Instagram, or just comment on the video. I can answer any questions you may have. But hopefully you enjoyed this video of this modification on my RB1, and there's plenty more to come with this vehicle as the months go. So have a great day, guys. I hope you're a bit more informed, and I'll see you guys soon for another video on